critical condition.
After a beautiful day today with spring-like temperatures, tomorrow when we're together, we'll be talking about some thunderstorms. And some of these storms can be strong to severe. We'll give you an hour-by-hour breakdown of what to expect coming up with the Weather 6 forecast.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 7, multiple homes struck by a truck in Evans. We'll have the latest on the investigation. Also ahead, unmanned drones making their way to Augusta. How they will assist the Augusta Regional Airport. And a poultry plant could be coming to Aiken. We'll have the details as your News at 7 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Watching News Channel 6 at 7. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins as a couple of homeowners in Columbia County face repairs after a wreck at their houses today. Isabella Moody has the details.
Cleanup is underway after a truck drove off the road in an Evans neighborhood. The homeowners we spoke with are shook up after the incident. People were home at both houses when it happened. One homeowner was getting her house pressure washed. She tells me she thought the pressure washer malfunctioned.
I was in the kitchen working from home today and was in there and just heard this hellacious boom and the house kind of shook, and I came out in the garage to see what happened and everything was just filled with dust and saw the daylight coming in through the side of the garage and then heard a horn beeping and realized when I walked out that it was actually from a car.
Neighbors shocked by a situation that you don't see every day. It took them a moment to process what happened.
I was upstairs, and my mom was downstairs right on the couch. I hear a huge loud bang downstairs. My mom's kind of like upset about the situation. And so I come downstairs, and I see a truck halfway through my house. And so I instantly called the cops and kind of let them know what was going on. She was on the couch, but the way the wall fell, it's like, imagine this is her, and it's like, this is where the wall is. So it's like right next to her almost.
The truck driver was taken away in an ambulance. There are no reports of injuries.
So it was all kinds of serendipity that people were where they were at the time that it happened. We had a gentleman here pressure washing, trying to get ready for the Masters. He dove out of the way because she came airborne after hitting the back of his trailer. So it was just a whole chain of events. But hopefully everyone is okay and, you know, the house can be replaced. Everybody has insurance.
As of now, the reasoning for the crash is unknown. We will keep you updated in this investigation. In Evans, Isabella Moody, WJBF News Channel 6.
House District 125 can. All right, we'll see you then. Well, a former jail worker in Columbia County is on the other side of the bars tonight. Deputy Jailer Riley Peters is charged with violation of oath and providing a telecommunication device to an inmate. Investigators say Peters was charging inmates to use a cell phone. He had been with the department since January of this year. Peters has been terminated. A potential poultry processing plant in Aiken County sparks interest. Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Stock has more on the possible multi-million-dollar investment.
It's called Project Sunny, and a household wafer plant could be here along Frontage Road in Aiken County, and it could benefit from incentives from the city. The North Carolina Poultry Processing Company plans to invest $185 million in building a plant in Aiken County. 900 jobs with pay starting at $18 an hour plus benefits will be available.
$10 million in state grants invested in our community. $3 million of revenue in the first 3 years goes to county and schools.
City leaders are proposing to offer the company a 30% discount for water usage up to 15 million gallons and a 45% discount for usage exceeding that amount. Residential rates will not be affected.
The amount of water that they're asking is well within the generating capacity of the city. So again, this is not a case where there will not be enough water and then water rates will have to go up because of someone using this amount of water is coming.
Supporters of the project highlight its potential economic benefits, job creation, and positive community impact.
What sounds to be a very awesome potential employer here that will hopefully employ and give people second chances, because we all deserve second chances.
However, concerns were raised during a recent council meeting, including potential strain on the city's water resources.
Before we get water and sewage rate
incentives to a corporation? Shouldn't we be looking at the brown water problem that our citizens are facing in the downtown area still?
Meanwhile, city leaders will continue discussing those incentives at their next meeting on March 25th. In Aiken County, I'm Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Stock, WJBF News Channel 6.
Bettenbaugh says if you have any discoloration of water, contact the Public Works Department. A big announcement today from Augusta Regional Airport and the Savannah River National Laboratory. Skyworks and its partners plan to bring the idea of a flying car to the Augusta area through high-tech, newly developed drones. These AI aircrafts will help to expand Augusta Regional by assisting with things like transporting people from the airport to the medical district.
We'll have young men and women taking jobs in this, working with it, hopefully staying here with SRNL's affiliation with the group. They be hangar space to do assembly and maintenance on these and pilot training. So I just think from Augusta's point of view, it will bring the whole world here to be involved in the development of this technology.
Project leaders say plans for aircraft used is expected for 2026 in Augusta. Drivers are saying finally on Wrightsboro Road. The long-awaited second phase of the project to fix Wrightsboro Road is getting the go-ahead. George Escala tells us what's in store.
Drivers will tell you traveling Wrightsboro Road is rough.
It's in bad shape, really bad. And this is a good time to change this road because you have so many bumps and lumps.
Not all of Wrightsboro is this way. The reconstruction project on the western section has been completed for more than 2 years. And though it's been discussed for nearly a decade, work still hasn't started on the bumpy and lumpy Phase 2.
It is way past due, and I have received numerous calls over the couple of years that I've been on the commission about, especially between North Leg, Jackson Road to Highland Avenue.
But things are starting to move. Commissioners giving the go-ahead for Phase 2 of the Wrightsboro Road reconstruction from Mark's Church to Highland Avenue, a nearly $7 million project.
So Phase 2 will be a continuation of Phase 1. So we're going to redo the roadway, so we'll have to rebuild part of it, and it'll be, nice and a lot smoother than it is today. We're also going to try to address some of the drainage issues, install sidewalks.
The plan also calls for Wrightsboro Road to be the city's first widespread use of solar-powered street lights. The lights are a third cheaper than normal street lights and will add nothing to the city's power bill.
They will not be connected to traditional electricity like most of the street lights. They'll be powered by the sun. They have a 10-year warranty. Like I said, we saw them in action. They're nice and bright.
Drivers have put up with a rough ride for years on this section of Wrightsboro, but relief is not coming overnight. Work is expected to start sometime in 2025.
Oh, well, that's great. Better late than never.
In Augusta, George Escala, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Well, up next, the U.S. is sending additional security.
Anywhere you need us.
Well, this is Pi Day, a day when math enthusiasts and bakers celebrate 314. It's the first 3 digits of the crucial mathematical constant. Pi expresses the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. In 2009, Congress designated every March 14th to be the big day to hopefully spur more interest in math and science. Around the world, many people will mark the day with a slice of pie or something savory. That looks.
It is awesome to have a slice of pie, a little reward for doing your work on a day that otherwise would be any other day of the year. But we get to celebrate Pie Day.
But for some folks, it's all about the math. Mathematicians have been working for thousands of years to extend the sequence of numbers.
I'm all for Pie Day. Any pie, apple pie day.
I was going to say the food pie.
Chocolate pie day. 83 degrees tomorrow. Beautiful day until we get the afternoon with those chances of thunderstorms, and we'll keep a close eye on.
All right, thanks so much. And thank you for joining us. We're always with you at WJBF.com. Entertainment Tonight is next.
thunderstorms and evening showers for our Friday, and on top of that, another warm day near 80 degrees. Warm temperatures sticking around through the weekend, and then we'll have a major cool down next week. All those details coming up.
Now at 10, young professionals in Aiken County helping each other grow. We take you to their networking event tonight. Plus, a crash in Evans leaves a couple of homes damaged, what we know so far. And taking to the skies in Augusta, how a Japanese company is expanding its aerospace business into the CSRA. As your news at 10 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 10 on MeTV.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins tonight with a group of young professionals gathering to gain more networking opportunities. Nikita Dennis has the story.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Matt. If you want to go ahead and grab a name tag here. Is this your first Aiken Young Professional group? So what we do here is we once a month put on a event. Most of the time it's a networking event. We've done some other ones. We do some game nights and different things as well, where we try to get a lot of the young professionals in the area together so that they can learn how to develop and build those professional skills. So we normally like to start with a little bit of an icebreaker.
The Aiken Chamber of Commerce holds a networking group each month called Aiken Young Professionals. This month, the group is coming together at Car Cave, USA. It allows people to get to know different businesses in the area while learning about different professions and careers.
I think it's always great for young people to get together and help each other, grow, and especially in Aiken with, it being a predominantly older community around here.
The goal of Aiken Young Professionals is to get people out of their comfort zone and network more.
Oh, you can do that. My name's Chris Face. I am wearing a watch. What's one of your hobbies outside of work?
Coaching Little League football and basketball.
Oh, nice. Where do you do that at? Aiken isn't known for a place that really fosters the younger groups of people. It's kind of a retirement area. So we really want to foster a little bit better of a community for young professionals.
Attending these events more and more just helps kind of break you out of that, to open you up. Just little conversations. As long as you can start a little conversation there, you never know where it's going to kind of take you and lead you and maybe help you grow your business, or you can help somebody else grow their business.
In Aiken, Nikita Dennis, WJBF News Channel 6.
Big news for the Arts in the Heart Festival held in Augusta every year. It's moving off Broad Street this year back to its original location along Telfair Street. The festival will also be located on Green Street at the Municipal Building and the old MCG campus, also Old Richmond Academy. Of course, this is because of all of the road work that's going on Broad Street. For more information about the festival, just go to their website, artsintheheartofaugusta.com. Time now for our first check of the weather. Here's meteorologist Jenna Petracci.
Well, it was a very warm Thursday, also a smoky one. We definitely had a lot of controlled birds across the area, making for some hazy skies. And right now, as we take a live look at our Terry Limbert Hyundai Skyview cam at Washington Road, it is dry out, just still that haze outside. You can see all those controlled birds across the area with that large area of very smoky conditions leading up to Wilkes and Taliaferro County, and also air quality very bad in those portions of the CSRA as well, down to Washington and Crawfordville. We do have the air quality alert in place until tomorrow at 10 a.m. Luckily, we'll get at least a little bit of rain tomorrow afternoon, and that'll really help with the smoky conditions and also the pollen. Our high today was 83 degrees, well above average, and actually close to that record of 85 set back in 1918. Low this morning was 42, so near average this morning, but we'll be well above average by tomorrow morning. We're currently sitting in the 60s still, 62 in Augusta, 68 in Barnwell. Louisville still close to the 70-degree mark, 66 in Gibson, and 65 in Washington. The winds are coming in from the south, 6 miles per hour in Augusta and Aiken. Not too breezy tonight. Skies are mostly clear other than the smoky conditions. Notice out towards the west of us, though, we do have a cluster of thunderstorms up in northwestern Alabama. And check all this out. This is a low-pressure system with a cold front causing a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings and even tornadoes all the way from Texas up into the Midwest. Now, this cold front's going to move in our direction, but I'm not expecting anything like that. In fact, our threat of severe weather is very low tomorrow. Starting out the day dry warming up to around 80 at 5 o'clock with that chance of storms. I'll have more details on that coming up, but back to you, Jenny.
All right, Jenna, thanks. A former jail worker in Columbia County is on the other side of the bars tonight. Deputy Jailer Riley Peters is charged with violation of oath and providing a telecommunication device to an inmate. Investigators say Peters was charging inmates to use a cell phone. He had been with the department since January of this year. Peters has been terminated. 2 Columbia County houses were damaged after they were hit by a truck this morning. Cleanup is underway after a car drove off the road on Malone Way off Fury's Ferry Road in Evans. A homeowner said the truck hit the side of the garage of one house before hitting the side and back porch of the neighboring house. People were home at both houses when it happened.
I was upstairs and my mom was downstairs right on the couch. I hear a huge loud bang downstairs. My mom's kind of like upset about the situation. And so I come downstairs and I see a truck halfway through my house. And so I instantly called the cops and kind of let them know what's going on.
The sheriff's office is still working to figure out why that truck left the road. The long-awaited second phase of the race for House District 125, why one of the candidates disagrees with that decision.
And warm temperatures continue through St. Patrick's Day weekend. We'll have a pretty wet Friday with some afternoon storms, evening rain, and then a big cool down next week. I'll have all those details after this break.
Looking for a good reason to hang with your crew? Here's 40 of them. Get 40 chicken McNuggets from McDonald's made with all white meat chicken for just $11.99. And don't forget the dipping sauces like barbecue, sweet and sour, and buffalo. Get a 40-piece chicken McNuggets for just $11.99. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, folks.
Your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Fiber 6.
Happy Pi Day. It's March 14th, and it was a warm Pi Day. We made it to 83 degrees, very warm and spring-like outside today. Came close to that record of 85. Average high is still in the low 70s, so this was more like, I'd say, May-like weather. Definitely not typical for early March. Around the CSRA, we're still in those 60s. 65 in Sparta, 62 in Augusta, Aiken at 68, 66 up in McCormick, and 67 in Bamberg. All right, Terry Lambert, Hyundai Skyview Cam looking good in Aiken. It's a pretty pleasant night, and those winds are coming in from the south at 6 miles per hour, dew point of 50. We do have an air quality alert in place, though, for a few counties here, including Columbia, Richmond, and Aiken. This goes until 10 a.m. on Friday. It's because we've had a lot of controlled burns today, and that is causing a lot of smoke particles up in the sky, along with the high pollen levels. So overall, just limit your outdoor activity early tomorrow morning if you can, until the air quality gets better when we have the rain come through. But in the meantime, pollen levels will still be at medium tomorrow, even with the rain. High levels into the weekend as well, so really not getting too much of a break from that. Satellite radar showing the pretty much clear conditions across the two-state, but out to the west of us, we do have some storms. We have that cluster around northwest Alabama and Tennessee, actually producing a severe thunderstorm warning, and then countless severe warnings and tornado warnings all across the Midwest down to Texas along that cold front. That front will weaken significantly by the time it reaches us tomorrow, but we'll still have the chance of a few storms that could get strong. And then behind it comes some much colder air for next week. Here's a look at Futurecast. You can see we will have some storms roll through tomorrow afternoon. And then as we go into around 3 o'clock, that's when we'll have the threat of some of those stronger storms. By 6 o'clock in the evening, just a widespread rain, a bit of a break, and then more rain returns around midnight, continuing into the overnight hours. So a few showers possible early Saturday morning, but the rest of the day will be dry. So here's a broader perspective here of that cold front marching through. You can definitely see it is losing its fuel, and then it will stall to the south of us on Saturday. High pressure briefly goes overhead, and then this front will lift back towards the north, bringing us a few more showers on Sunday. But for Friday, the rainfall total should be all under a quarter of an inch, so no concerns about flooding. The threat of severe weather is very low. It's just a marginal risk. I'm really not concerned about that. Now, as we go into St. Patrick's Day weekend, staying warm in the 70s, only a 20% chance of rain Saturday morning, 40% for Sunday. At this time, not expecting any storms. And then for the St. Patrick's Day parade in Augusta on Saturday, we'll start out cloudy, but we'll gradually start to see some sunshine as those temperatures warm up. Now, it won't last forever. However, though, we will drop down all the way to 60 degrees, ironically, on the first day of spring, and then we'll be back into the 70s. Now, on top of that, I'm also predicting the possibility of some frost and freeze on Tuesday morning, with temperatures falling into the 20s and 30s. So we'll keep you updated on that, but nowhere near freezing tonight. We will be in the low 50s. Highs tomorrow will be in the upper 70s to low 80s, and that 10-day forecast showing the warm temperatures through Sunday, back to 67 on Monday with the sun coming back. On the first day of spring, that's when we will have those low 30s in the morning, high of only 60, and then warming back up the middle of next week.
All right, thanks so much, Jenna. House District candidate C.J. Pearson. Coming up, we'll hear from the Atlanta Falcons' new quarterback, and the South Carolina men's basketball team looks to set a school record with a win in the SEC tournament. Kira Goldstein has sports after the break.
Coleman Services.
Welcome to the new year at Blissful Boutique in Muncie, Georgia, your go-to destination for all your shopping desires. Step into 2024 with Stylist. Our fresh collection of fashion apparel, home decor, and gifts await you. From trendy fashion statements to delightful home additions, we've got something for everyone. Discover the joy of a personalized shopping experience at Blissful Boutique, making your new year shopping truly special. Visit us in person or online to start your blissful experience today. Come see what's waiting behind the pink door for you at Blissful Boutique.
At Tile Center, our passion is for people and the living space they share. We totally understand that your home is a big part of your life, and our goals are to inspire your creativity. We'll help you feel comfortable about transforming your living space into a showplace you can be really proud of. Come see why for yourself at any of our locations at Tile Center or online at tilecenter.com. Your tile and stone experts.
Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
As the South Carolina Gamecocks men's basketball team opens up play in the SEC tournament, there's some big news from multiple sources that the school has agreed to a contract extension with SEC Coach of the Year Lamont Paris. The deal will extend him through the 2029-2030 season and average more than $4 million annually pending board approval. That's set for tomorrow. As for gameplay, Gamecocks taking on Arkansas. 8:29 to go, SC down by 1. Our local guy, Denmark Olar's Zachary Davis, gets the finish. Gamecocks up 23-22. Closing seconds of the first half, SC trailing by 5. Michi Johnson takes it all the way for the lay-in. Gamecocks within 3 at the break. Then in the second half, 18 minutes to go, Colin Murray Boyles is right there for the putback. He was fabulous, led with 24 points, 7 boards, SC up by 9. Next possession, Zachary Davis drives in the paint and finishes with the layup. He had 8 points on the night, and the former Viking was part of a 10-0 run to start the second half. Then Colin Murray Boyles gives the Gamecocks a double-digit lead. And finally, Michi Johnson would put the game away after breaking some ankles and driving for the layup. South Carolina wins 80-66. They tied the school record for wins at 26. Get their first SEC tournament win since 2018. And next up is Auburn. That'll be on Friday at 3:30 p.m. Also in the SEC men's basketball tournament, the Georgia Bulldogs taking on Florida. The game was supposed to start at 9:30, but it was delayed and just now tipped off. I'll have a score update for you at 11 on News Channel 6. It was pro day at Clemson as 10 Tigers worked out trying to impress the NFL scouts. Defensive back Nate Wiggins and running back Will Shipley impressing. Linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. did not participate in Clemson's pro day, but he will have a private workout with NFL teams on April 9th. The draft is April 25th. The Atlanta Falcons introduced new quarterback Kirk Cousins. He signed a 4-year, $180 million contract. The 35-year-old, former Vikings quarterback coming off a torn Achilles. He hopes to be ready in a few months. He's got Georgia ties. His wife is from Marietta. Their first date was at Stone Mountain. One of his kids is named after Ted Turner, and his in-laws are die-hard Falcons fans. Just a few of the many reasons he says he's glad to be a Falcon.
When the owner, general manager, head coach, and quarterback are on the same page, that's when you really have a chance to go win a Super Bowl. And as I looked at the Atlanta Falcons, I believe strongly that the owner, head coach, general manager, and quarterback can all be on the same page, and that's exciting for me. And so that's why I'm thrilled to be here.
NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reporting the Falcons have traded Desmond Ridder to the Cardinals for wide receiver Rondale Moore. Opening round of the Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass. Couple of PGA Tour's biggest names at the top of the leaderboard. Rory McIlroy and Xander Schauffele tied at 7 under with a pair of 65s. Luke List, our low local, at 3 under. Neesmith and Sig got some work to do. And Aiken's Kevin Kisner is a lead analyst in the booth this weekend. Lots of excitement still to come from Ponte Vedra. We'll keep an eye on the players throughout the weekend. And that does it for sports.
You have wall crack?
Last but not least tonight, one 6-year-old suffering from chronic kidney disease getting the chance to be a princess from Make-A-Wish.
Nova Jordan and her family will be taking a trip to Disneyland in California.
Paul Stino with the story.
With the sun?
For Nova, there's no doubt about which characters she's most looking forward to meeting on her upcoming Disneyland trip.
I'm going to see Elsa and Anna.
Like her favorite Disney princesses, Nova is the hero of her own story. Born with end-stage renal disease, she's been a fighter her entire life.
It was great to see her fight. Knew that she was going to go far in life, but it was just heartbreaking at the same time because I didn't expect to go through that.
Over the years, she's made countless trips to Milwaukee for treatment. 2.5 years ago, some good news.
And then in the middle of the night, they called me and said they had a kidney for her, so we had to rush down there and...
Her parents say things are better now, but not perfect. Now, though, she has that trip to look forward to thanks to Make-A-Wish. Nova, when you heard that you were going to get to go to Disneyland, what was your reaction? How did you feel?
Excited.
A little girl born with the odds stacked against her, who fought, and who is now going to live out one of her dreams. A story and a little princess fit for a Disney movie. What's it going to mean to you and your family to be able to take this trip together?
It'll be awesome, just because we get to go together as a family, and if Make-A-Wish didn't give us the opportunity, I don't feel like we'd ever be able to go.
Aww.
All the best to her.
Yeah, sweetest little Disney princess. So cute. Our 10-day forecast showing the warm temperatures sticking around all the way through the weekend. High of 82 tomorrow, but the difference from today is that tomorrow we do have a 60% chance of rain and thunderstorms starting in the afternoon, and then drying out over the weekend for the most part. Dry and sunny next week with a cool down starting Tuesday.
The news continues at the top of the hour on WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Hogan's Heroes is next here on MeTV.
Your game, Georgia.
Another warm day tomorrow with showers and storms in the forecast. Then it will be mostly dry for your Saturday, staying warm, and then a big cool down next week. All those details coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 11, Governor Kemp signing a prosecutor oversight bill. We'll have reaction from local lawmakers. Also, young professionals helping each other grow will take you to the networking event in Aiken. And multiple homes were struck by a truck in Evans. We'll have the latest on the investigation as your news at 11 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Coverage you can count on begins as the long-awaited second phase of Wrightsboro. A company based in Japan is looking to expand the aerospace industry into the CSRA. They're bringing unmanned drones to the Garden City in partnership with Augusta Regional Airport. Bria Smith has the story.
Augusta will be at the forefront of this technology. It's clear now that this technology will come to the world, and where and when, it's okay, in a few years it will be here.
The Skyworks Innovation Exchange and Aerospace Innovation Incubator welcomed all developing businesses with the aerospace industry at the event.
With SRNL's affiliation with the group, they be hangar space to do assembly and maintenance on these and pilot training. So I just think from Augusta's point of view, it will bring the whole world here to be involved in the development of this technology.
With the collaboration of the Savannah River National Lab, SkyDrive Inc., and Bravo Air, Augusta will be the first city to see an unmanned drone. And organization leaders say the Garden City is the perfect place to start.
The grid that we saw also in the presentation, so the electricity will be there, the the charger is there, operation is there, and the planning is taking into account for the urban air mobility. So the environment and the ecosystem that is here in Augusta is very great to make this happen.
Augusta Regional Aviation Commission Chairman Dan Troutman says while this just adds to the expansion of the airport, attracting more people to the area, it will also benefit those who live here.
These folks that are coming out of high school here or college here or Augusta Tech will be the ones running these companies scattered around the world moving forward.
Project leaders say the benefits of this newly developed aircraft are things like the decibels, takeoff weight, number of parts, and more.
It's a lower altitude than you would hear from a normal aircraft, and it's a lot quieter, fully electric, clean, so we can move people from the airport to maybe another district or any other location downtown where they don't have to drive.
It is time now for a first check of the forecast. Here's meteorologist Jenna Petracci. A lot of yellow out there, Jenna.
Yeah, that's right. The pollen was no joke today, and unfortunately, you probably encountered a lot of pollen if you were outside trying to enjoy the warm temperatures like I was. It was all over the place. Here's a live look now at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam in Aiken. It is a pretty pleasant night, not too chilly just yet. We do still have some very smoky conditions, though, with controlled burns across the CSRA. Very large area of some moderate smoke leading up to Tolliver and Wilkes County as well. That's where air quality is the worst, now becoming unhealthy in Washington and Crawfordville, and even a big area around the metro as well where the air quality is looking pretty rough. So if you do suffer from respiratory health issues, definitely stay inside as much as possible. Of course, now it's nighttime, so I'm sure that's no problem. But even through tomorrow morning, try to limit that time outside. High of 83 today. That came close to our record of 85. Low of 42, so near average this morning. But our temperatures tomorrow morning will be well above average. We're still sitting in the 60s. 60 exactly in Augusta, 66 in Bardwell, 67 in Aiken. Swainsboro, you're at 61. Wrightsville also at 61 and 63 in Waynesboro. The winds are coming in from the south, bringing in all that moisture and warmth. 7 miles per hour in Aiken, 5 in Waynesboro. For the most part, pretty light winds with not much going on across the two-state. We do have showers and storms around Tennessee and North Alabama, and check out what's to the west of that. A cold front with low pressure up in the Midwest, and a lot of storms all along this front, all the way down to Texas. This is weakening, though, as it makes its way towards the southeast. So for us, very minimal impacts tomorrow. A few storms possible in the afternoon with widespread rain in the evening. Temperatures warm once again. I'll have more details on the forecast coming up shortly, but back to you, Jenny.
All right, Jenna, we appreciate it. A former jail worker in Columbia County is on the other side of the bars tonight. Deputy Jailer Riley Peters is charged with violation of oath and providing a telecommunication device to an inmate. Investigators say Peters was charging inmates to use a cell phone. He had been with the department since January. Peters has been terminated. 2 Columbia County homes were damaged today after a group of young professionals gathering to gain more networking opportunities in Aiken. Nikita Dennis has the story.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Matt. If you want to go ahead and grab a name tag here. Is this your first Aiken Young Professional group? So what we do here is we once a month put on a event. Most of the time it's a networking event. We've done some other ones. We do some game nights and different things as well, where we try to get a lot of the young professionals in the area together, so that way they can learn how to develop and build those professional skills. So we normally like to start with a little bit of an icebreaker.
The Aiken Chamber of Commerce holds a networking group each month called Aiken Young Professionals. This month, the group is coming together at Car Cave, USA. It allows people to get to know different businesses in the area while learning about different professions and careers.
I think it's always great for young people to get together and help each other, grow, and especially in Aiken with, it being a predominantly older community around here.
The goal of Aiken Young Professionals is to get people out of their comfort zone and network more.
Oh, you can do that. My name's Kristen. I am wearing a lot. What's one of your hobbies outside of work?
Coaching Little League football and basketball.
Oh, nice. Where do you do that at?
Aiken isn't known for a place that really fosters the younger groups of people. It's kind of a retirement area. So we really want to foster a little bit better of a community for young professionals.
Attending these events more and more just helps kind of break you out of that, to open you up. Just little conversations. As long as you can start a little conversation there, you never know where it's going to kind of take you and lead you, and maybe help you grow your business, or you can help somebody else grow their business.
In Aiken, Nikita Dennis, WJBF News Channel 6.
Big news for the Arts in the Heart event held in Augusta every year. It's moving from Broad Street this year to its original location along Telfair Street. The festival will also be located on Green Street, the Municipal Building, the old MCG campus, and the old Richmond Academy. This is all because of the road construction happening right now downtown, and especially along Broad Street. For more information about the festival, you can check out their website, artsintheheartofaugusta.com. Coming up, allergy season is upon us. Indeed it is. How experts say you can minimize the symptoms when we come back.
And we will get some much-needed rain tomorrow to help wash away that pollen, at least briefly. We will dry back out on Saturday with warm temperatures sticking around through St. Patrick's Day, and then a cool down next week. Details right after this break.
The Live 5 for 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5 for 6.
Happy Pie Day. It's March 14th. Personally, today I enjoyed a piece of key lime pie by the pool to soak in the sun rays and the warm temperatures. It was a nice spring-like day. We made it to 83 degrees. The record is 85, so we came very close to that. And if you were outside like me, I'm sure you had to deal with all of the pollen. Luckily, we will get some rain tomorrow to help with that. But in the meantime, it is dry. Temperatures are on the warm side tonight. We are not nearly as cold as it typically is for an early March morning, or night, I should say. Our temperatures are in the low 60s. And as we take a live look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station, it is mostly clear outside, sitting at 60 degrees here in town. Dew point of 49. Visibility is fine, but we do have some air quality alerts in place, including Columbia, Richmond, Aiken County, and most of South Carolina counties. This goes all the way through 10 a.m. on Friday. Once we start to get some of that rain, it will definitely help with that. And as I mentioned, it will briefly help with the pollen levels, at least a little bit, but high levels throughout the weekend, unfortunately. As we take a look at satellite and radar here, nothing going on across the two-state, but we do have showers and storms in North Alabama and a very large area of thunderstorm activity from the Midwest down to Texas, all along this cold front, seeing a lot of flashing polygons indicating severe thunderstorm warnings and even some tornadoes from this cold front. Now for us, not nearly going to be as strong. It will move in, bringing us some showers and storms tomorrow, and behind it we'll have colder air moving in, but I'm not expecting a severe weather outbreak by any means, so let's talk about it here on Futurecast. It'll be a dry start to your Friday, and then as we go into the morning and afternoon, that's when we'll start to see some storms. Then more so just some widespread rain Friday night into Saturday morning. The front will stall to our south Saturday night, keeping us mostly dry, and then a few showers for St. Patrick's Day. Here's a closer look Friday afternoon. Some of these storms here could be a little bit strong. Once again, not concerned about severe weather, though. By 3 o'clock, this moves south of the interstate, and then, as I mentioned, more so just widespread rain Friday night, a bit of a break, and then another round comes in around midnight, continuing overnight into Saturday morning. This will be it, though, for the rain on Saturday. The rest of the day will be dry, and we'll actually see some sunshine. Our rainfall totals not impressive. Most of us under a quarter of an inch. There is a marginal risk of severe weather, but as I mentioned, nothing significant. And then as we go into the weekend, staying warm in the 70s, only a 40% chance of rain on Sunday. Now the temperatures will take a big dip all the way down to 60 on the first day of spring. Very ironic. And then we'll also have the potential of some frost and freezing temperatures. Some of us may be in the upper 20s next Tuesday morning. We'll definitely be monitoring that. Nowhere near it tonight, though. We'll be in those low to mid 50s. Highs tomorrow in the upper 70s to low 80s. And that 10-day forecast showing the chances of rain through the weekend. Back to sunshine next week with the temperatures cooling down. Back to you, Jenny.
All right, thank you so much. Allergy season is here, and it's already hitting some people hard, and doctors say it's likely to get worse before it gets better. They recommend avoiding triggers like maple trees and ragweed if you can, and use over-the-counter remedies until they no longer help.
Most of the time, allergies just make people miserable, but certainly allergies can affect asthma. and asthma attacks are, can be triggered by allergen exposure.
Knowing what allergy triggers you have can be a big part of avoidance of the allergies. We know that when it comes to treating environmental allergies, knowing what you're allergic to can help you identify keeping, for example, your pet out of the bedroom, keeping your windows closed if you're allergic to pollen, etc.
Doctors also say nasal sprays can also make a huge difference by flushing out your nasal passages. And we do have some breaking news right now coming into the News Channel 6 newsroom. It's from the University of South Carolina, Aiken. It is going to be closed tomorrow for in-person operations. This includes classes and campus activities, all canceled tomorrow. Non-essential faculty and staff should not report to work. This is because of an on-campus water situation. Now, the winning numbers in tonight's South Carolina Lottery: Pick 3, 616. And your Pick 4 winning numbers tonight: 9361, Fireball 7.
Are you suffering from solutions for your journey? Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
As the South Carolina Gamecocks men's basketball team opens up SEC play in the SEC tournament, there is big news from multiple reports that the school has agreed to a contract extension with SEC Coach of the Year Lamont Paris. The deal will extend him through the 2029-2030 season and average more than $4 million annually pending board approval. That's set for tomorrow. As for game play, Gamecocks taking on Arkansas, 8:29 to go, SC down by 1. Our local guy, Denmark Olar's Zachary Davis, gets the finish. Gamecocks up 23-22. Closing seconds of the first half, SC trailing by 5. Michi Johnson takes it all the way for the lay-in. Gamecocks within 3 at the break. Second half, 18 minutes to go. Colin Murray Boyles is right there for the putback. He was fabulous, led with 24.7 boards, and SC's up by 9. Next possession, Zachary Davis drives in the paint, finishes with the layup. He had 8 points on the night, and the former Viking was part of a 10-0 run to start the second half. Then Colin Murray Boyles gives the Gamecocks a double-digit lead. And finally, Michi Johnson would put the game away after breaking some ankles and driving in for the layup. South Carolina wins 80-66. They tie the school record for wins at 26, get their first SEC tournament win since 2018, and next up is Auburn on Friday at 3:30. In high school baseball, ARC hosted South Aiken on Thursday night. Top of the first, 2-on, 2-outs, Colton Polino will send it to left. It's missed by the shortstop and then again in left field, so the T-Reds get on the board first with a 2-run double. And from there, they put 2 on the board in every inning until the 5th, leading 11-4 with 1 on. Tucker Bryan sends it up the middle to tack on another one, making it 12-4. And then Stephen Platt would send it to right field, where some confusion would bring in the T-Reds' 5th run of the inning. South Aiken gets the win 17-7 as they extend ARC's losing streak to 4 games. The Musketeers will be back in action on Friday against Morgan County. The Atlanta Falcons introduced new quarterback Kirk Cousins. He signed a 4-year, $180 million contract. The 35-year-old former Vikings quarterback coming off a torn Achilles. He hopes to be ready in a few months. He's got Georgia ties. His wife is from Marietta. Their first date was at Stone Mountain. One of his kids is named after Ted Turner, and his in-laws are die-hard Falcons fans. Just a few of the many reasons he says he's glad to be a Falcon.
When the owner, general manager, head coach, and quarterback are on the same page, that's when you really have a chance to go win a Super Bowl. And as I looked at the Atlanta Falcons, I believe strongly that the owner, head coach, general manager, and quarterback can all be on the same page, and that's exciting for me. And so that's why I'm thrilled to be here.
NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reporting the Falcons have traded Desmond Ridder to the Cardinals for wide receiver Rondale Moore. Opening round of the Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass. Couple of the PGA Tour's biggest names at the top of the leaderboard. Rory McIlroy and Xander Schauffele tied at 7 under with a pair of 65s. Luke List, our low local, at 3 under. Neesmith and Sig with some work to do. And then we have Aiken's Kevin Kisner, a lead analyst in the booth this weekend. Lots of excitement still to come from Ponte Vedra. We'll keep an eye on the players throughout the weekend, and that does it for sports.
Jesse Palmer here.
If you've always dreamt of having your name up in lights, NASA can do you one better. It'll put your name in the skies. NASA says its new Viper rover will carry a list of people's name to the moon. If you want your name preserved in the night sky, you have until tomorrow.
For the Hitchcock Woods Foundation and has retained its rustic charm while remaining one of the foremost equestrian competitions in Aiken. Come join us and have fun enjoying this century-old Aiken tradition.
If you've always dreamt of having your name up in lights, NASA can do you one better. It'll put your name in the skies. NASA says its new Viper rover will carry a list of people's name to the moon. If you want your name preserved in the night sky, you have until tomorrow to submit your name on NASA's website. How about that? The rover will carry the names on a dime-sized microchip as it measures water and ice concentrations on the south pole of the moon.
That is so cool.
I love that.
Yeah, you're into space.
I am.
That's
Yeah, I
perfect
would
for you.
love that. I'm going to go log on right now.
Really cool. Well, for our forecast this week, it's staying warm through the weekend. We're also going to have rain and storms tomorrow, 60% chance of that. It'll start out dry with a low of 52. Then in the afternoon, as we warm up to 82, that's when we'll see some storms, rain at night, continuing into early Saturday morning. Most of your Saturday, nice and dry, great conditions for the St. Patrick's Day parade. A few showers on St. Patrick's Day, though, and then back to sunshine and dry conditions next week. Then on the first day of spring, winter making a comeback, high of only 60, low of 33.
And we want to remind you that classes are canceled tomorrow at USC Aiken because of a water issue. Have a good night.